Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome back to another match day ticket with me, the host, the governor. And I can testify that hot dog was absolutely stunning, smothered in burger sauce, but just climbing those stairs, I miss that. I miss my home, and I hope one day get back there. But this hopefully can fill a void in the meantime and bring us all closer together and bring us closer to the football. Welcome in, my friends. Chris Blake is in the building. I think this team will be fired tonight. Absolutely. Matt Stannard would have a hot dog right now. Luke Penning, welcome in. JT, the man, the myth, the legend, welcome in. And what game was that from? We shan't talk about what game that was from, Joe. Needs to say we lost. We did lose it. Okay, I'll tell you. It was Preston in the championship season. They ended the game with their centre forward in goal, and he pulled off a worldie. Pulled off an absolute worldie. Said driver Mrs. Portman Road. Yeah, it's always missable under the lights. You know, you're feeling you've got to wrap up warm. That's why I've gone for the t-shirt combo without the jumper. I'm trying to get the cold vibes in the building. So let's get stuck into this evening and the team. Joining me first and foremost are two wonderful people. The first person I will bring out is, of course, our aficionado on the HDR network. He is, of course, Steve Thompson. New intro, new graphics, but some things stay the same, and that is your infinite knowledge on all things. So how are you, Mr. Thompson?
I'm well. Yourself?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm looking forward to tonight's game. As Ben says, where's Jackson? Well, if the things I've heard are believed to be true, then he may not be playing for us. I don't know. While Lambert's in charge, Nolan again, another name. Someone messaged me and told me they were training with the under-23s. I don't know how true that is.
Interesting.
There we go. Well, Andrew, yes, recent merch purchaser. Andrew, welcome in. I'm glad you could join us. Matthew, why is Norwood on the bench? Well, that's a good question. We'll get to that in a second. Callie, another great shirt, Steve. Yes, Steve. Talk to us about your shirt collection, because you come out in a different shirt every time, and it's just a thing of beauty.
My collar's all funny as well. I had this season's home shirt on, and I saw Callie's comment on Twitter with the retro shirt. I said, well, I've got to change it. I've got to put a retro shirt on. I love the older shirts. This is the away shirt from the year I was born. So it's got a special written meaning there. So I just love the old school shirts.
Absolutely. Exactly. And I was saying this on Sunday's podcast just gone. It's the team that makes the shirt, and nobody remembers a shit team in a good shirt. Like they don't like the one upstairs I got upstairs with Magical Vegas on the front and my dad's surname and his date of birth. That was a team we got relegated in. So it's got a special place in my heart for what's on the back.
Yeah.
But it was a shit team. So the shirt, as a result, is shite as well. Yeah. I sound like Mr. Positivity, which, of course, let's bring him in and get stuck into the team news. He is always a beacon of light, is this man.
Wake up to the, wow. Wake up to the money, turn me right on. You look like you got dressed with no lights on. A Superman that spin like a cyclone. Fit check, spin like a cyclone. Wake up to the money, turn me right on.
Yeah, but we're crap. We're not going to dominate any team.
Well, let's get into that. We're crap. We're not going to dominate any team. Well, this is the lineup tonight, my friends. Holy in goal. Matheson, Wolfenden, McGuinness, Kenlock, Downs and Dozell, the holders. Gone with the 4-4-2, probably more in hope than anything else. Thomas, Sears, Parrott and Harrop. I think I want to go 4-4-2, but I think actually in reality, Harrop may play behind the striker, and it may be Thomas, Harrop, Sears and Parrott up front on his own. And then the bench of Chambers, Ward, Cornell, Bishop, Norwood, Lancaster and Judge. So what do you make of this lineup? More or less the Blackpool lineup, no?
Oh, I quite like it.
What I want to see.
Yeah. I think he learned his lesson, from getting absolutely done down the wings with Chambers and Ward last time. So I fully expect them to be rested for Tuesday's game. Well, for Matheson and Kenlock to be rested for Tuesday's game. No, today's Tuesday, Saturday's game. Get my days right. But yeah, I thought I could see tonight. I quite like that.
Yeah, I'm. Yeah, anytime you see a team nil without Luke Chambers in it, you got to be a bit excited, haven't you?
Yes.
What can Matheson bring to today's team? You know, Northampton are a team that haven't scored in a while. We know that from last night's preview show. So is he free tonight, without jinxing it too much, to get up and down that wing and really just turn into more of a winger, similar to what Peterborough did to us a week ago?
He gives you everything Chambers doesn't.
Yes, which are what? Tell us what those are. What does he give us that Chambers doesn't?
Energy, youthfulness. He can last game we saw him, he timed some challenges and moving to close down a player at the right time. Let's hope he can do some more of that and get lucky with a few things.
Absolutely, yeah. And what about you, Steve? You looking forward to seeing Matheson play? It's a shame we can't be there to see it in person, but it's something to look forward to, isn't it? It's a big excitement for a Tuesday night.
He looked really good last time, but his first game. Like I say, he offers everything Chambers doesn't. There's pace, there's eagerness, there's youthfulness. And I think, this could be a game where he could really sort of come into his own and maybe offer a lot more. So I'm excited to see him back.
Absolutely. One of our local TV celebrities here, Cruncher76. Loan FC, fresh off his 20 seconds on ITV Anglia. Crunch, we loved you on it, my friend. I'm so proud of you. And of course, the Media Mogul. But Loan FC is what he's claiming. I suppose you could look at it that way. But there's still, isn't there enough of our own young players in this team, Steve, to say, yes, we've got some loan players in it, but you've still got Wolfenden, Kenlock, who's still a young player, Downs, Andre. There's a little bit of a core coming on there. Yeah, they're building.
Half the team is loans.
Half the team, there's a hell of a lot of loans there, but there's a fair few players there that we can sort of say, these are our young kids, and they can do well. You've still got Lancaster on the bench as well, whether he'll come on later on, I don't know. But the likes of Wolfenden, Kenlock, Dazelle, Downs as captain. I'm a big fan of that because he was a very good captain the other day. So
yeah, he was. He played. He really sort of grew into that role. I don't think he needs the armband to play well. He's proven that in the past, but it is a bit of a responsibility for him. And yes, Neil, you are right. There are lone players in that team, but isn't that just more of an indictment on the current squad that we needed these players to freshen up, to give us impetus, to give us something?
Because the squad wasn't good enough. Spot on.
It wasn't. And you look at that bench, the players coming off the bench, I'd probably, in all honesty, only want to see 3 of them. How many of those players off the bench would you really, hand on heart, guys in the chat, get active with this question, how many players would you actually want to see come on today?
For me, it'd be Lancaster, Bishop and Norwood.
Lancaster, Bishop and Norwood from Steve. Gone 3. Neil said Judge, definitely not. But who would you want to see?
No, I'm the same as him. Lancaster, Bishop and Norwood are the only ones I'd even consider.
Absolutely. So that is the reason why you've got Loan FC. That's the reason why you needed players in the door, because it wasn't happening. It's in a season and a half for the squad.
Still not happening.
And but it's been stop-start. Let's be fair. I mean, they should be fresh off Saturday's no-show, as it were. So they should be. This is a game you should be winning, regardless of the manager's position. Ipswich Town should always be beating Northampton Town, who have just come up from League Two. And the squad you've got. Big game for Kenlock again. He's got to keep making the claim for the place, right, Steve? Because eventually, if he keeps playing well and he keeps, banging the door down, the manager can't put Ward in, really, whether it's this manager or the next manager. Because that's important to remember here, isn't it? You're also playing for what might be around the corner.
Yeah, absolutely. Kenlock's obviously been at Ipswich for a long time now. He's seen a few different managers. He's never really been able to cement that starting position because his performances have been hit and miss. But those last couple of games he was playing in place of Ward, he looks really good. Probably one of the best guys in the team. And he's probably got to wonder what he's got to do because now he's really started to show what he can do. He then gets benched again. I think for someone like Miles, he's got to, every time he's picked, he's got to give it his all. He's got to have those kind of performances because it may be too late to do anything under Lambert, but the next guy that comes in, he's going to want to say, look, you need to pick me rather than some 35-year-old has been. Pick me because I'm younger, I'm fitter, I'm faster.
I'm consistent, I'm playing well, I'm in good form. Yeah, and that's important to think. Downs and Dazelle. Go on, Neil.
Is Edwards injured?
I believe. Is he injured? Top of my head, I don't know. Someone in the chat will let us know.
Monitoring him. I think.
The chat will let us know because the chat know everything. The chat are all knowing, all seeing. They're brilliant people. So let us know, please. But on to Andre and Flynn, midfield 2. With Flynn in there, isn't it? I mean, I've been saying Andre would struggle without Flynn, and then he's also struggled with Flynn. I'm going to be honest. At what point do you want to start seeing Andre Dazelle create chances? Thank you, JT. He's injured.
Oh,
okay. He does sometimes, but he is not a solid midfielder, is he? He's one of these where he'll just come and go.
But he needs to step it up, Steve, because we always said, give him a run of games, it'll be fine. Well, he's getting a run of games, and yet when I look at the assist charts for the League One or created chances, I never see his name in there.
Yeah, I'm quite a Dazelle fan. I've always liked him, but I think sometimes he's got these visions which are amazing of these passes, but no one else. I think I've said it before on here. No one can see what he's trying to do half the time. So he sends a pass up, and no one's there to meet it because only he can see it. Having him as more of a holding midfielder, I wasn't a big fan of. I think Downs is much better in that regard. Send Dazelle forwards, get him further forward to see if he can make these chances, create more chances than he can as a holding midfielder. So I prefer seeing Downs further back and Dazelle pushed up a bit.
There was reports this week that Blackburn were eyeing Andre. Let's live in the world of that's true. In the summer, they come call him. Would you be upset if you read the news Andre sold for whatever fee you want to put on his head? Would you go, oh, that's it? Like almost in the summer this year where we thought we were sending Flynn to Crystal Palace, a lot of people thought that's it, season over, he's our best player. Would you feel the same way if the Blackburn interest was true in Andre?
We've had it far too long where we've just wanted to keep hold of him for the sake that he might become good at some point. But that's happened for far too long now, and potentially it's time to let him go.
I think with Andre, like you said, Neil, keep hold of him. He might come good, and then we can say, just like his dad. So it's a good thing we kept him because he's just like he's not going to be just like his dad. He's not as good as his dad, in my opinion. But if I woke up tomorrow morning and saw that Dazelle had left, I'd be disappointed because I think he is a good player. But it wouldn't be the end of the world. We've got people who could step in. So.
Okay. Luke Payne, we've dropped to 13th currently with Gillingham beating the Posh. Hey, we can't worry about what anybody else is doing. We've just got to worry about ourselves. And until we start winning games, the rest of the world can kind of just disappear. Right, Neil? Because until we start winning, it's all irrelevant.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter if you finish 11th, 13th, 15th. If it's not on the playoffs, it doesn't really matter. Stephen Parry.
A nice run of wins going and...
Absolutely. He's bought a new dryer. He's bought a new dryer. Stephen, I hope you're well. I hope it didn't cost too much. And I hope the beep's getting sorted. He was on last night and all the chat went was beep, 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 beep. I love it. I love it. Facebook user needs 3 points and a few goals tonight or he has to walk. See, even there, look, he's not even on the show. And straight away, big bad Stuart with his passion run. Beep, beep, beep. He loves it. Joe. If there's a problem of getting the best out of players, we certainly do. Facebook user Dazelle has 1 pass per game, so it's not people reading him. I agree with that. Thomas Lancaster's back on the bench, which I'm really a big fan of. I love Jack Lancaster. Thomas has to start showing more, doesn't he? Because it's been a mixed reaction to him. I don't think he's done enough. Amy wasn't prepared last night on the show to write him off too soon. Have either of you seen enough, or do you really? This is the time. You've got to start stepping up in your 3rd or 4th opportunity.
He done the old first game in an Ipswich shirt, looked lively, so people would like him, and now he's gone a little bit off. He does need to step it up big time.
Callie Blizzler, King Callie Blizzler. Thomas is shit. Steve, do you agree with that?
That's pretty short and to the point, isn't it? I wouldn't say shit. I'm underwhelmed by him. He had that, like you said, like Neil said, he had that first great performance, and then I've seen nothing really that would make me pick him ahead of Lancaster. I would much rather have Lancaster in. He's our own player. He's proved himself what he can do. I would much rather have our own kid starting ahead of someone else's.
That was
especially seeing as Thomas hasn't shown anything fantastic.
What he showed us is a season ago, before he broke his back.
Fair enough, but I suppose now he's back and he's fit again. He needs to get back into the team. He needs to start playing regularly to get back to what he was before he had that. Obviously, it was a horrible injury. He was out for a long time. I would much rather see him play because it might take time to get back to that, but I want to see that. I'd rather see him on the pitch.
Neil, a few questions there in what Steve said about Lancaster proving himself. Facebook user, what's Lancaster done? Local boy syndrome. And then another one, Facebook user, perhaps they're brothers. Has Lancaster proved himself?
For me, he's done no more for us than Teddy Bishop. They can look good now and again, but on the whole,
so you'd agree with this? He has the academy plot armor on. He's sort of. I disagree. I think Jack's done enough.
I like him. I've got nothing against him. I want him in the team, but he's still got to step it up and show us every game he plays that he deserves to be there. Basically,
yeah, absolutely. I'm not saying that he deserves to cement a starting place just because he's a local kid and he's an academy boy, but I think stick him in the team, give him a run of games, see what he can do.
If this season's a mid-table going nowhere season, which is looking like it increasingly is, I'd rather be playing Jack Lancaster than Thomas, quite frankly, because I'd rather be seeing what he's got and or letting the new manager see what he's got. Because while he's not playing, he's not putting any film tape out. So the new manager, whoever that may be, isn't seeing him in action. Blue Soap asked the pivotal question: Neil, are you feeling positive about today?
Not really.
Not really. Wow. Okay.
I like the starting lineup. That helped me be positive, but I've seen far too many times of Ipswich Town playing dross, and I'm just expecting another evening where I've got to talk this game over after the final whistle, and they've just been crap.
King Callie, have we forgot about the beginning of the season? Jack came in, scored, assisted. He's in his way back to his best, but needs a run of games. Absolutely, completely agree with that. Holy, a lot of question marks over him. Last time I saw Ipswich Town play, I was saying holy shit an awful lot. Surprised, personally, he keeps his position. Are you both surprised? Would you have kept him like Paul Lambert has done, or would you have gone with the ex-Northampton Di Cornell?
I would have
Out of the two, I prefer Cornell, but as I've said earlier in the season, neither of them two goalies are my choice.
Neither of them fill me with confidence. Sort of the best of a bad bunch, really. If I had to pick one, I would go for Cornell because Holy has been looking very shaky the past couple of games, very nervy. Every time the ball gets booted back to him, I shit myself just a little bit. So I'd much rather Cornell.
It's absolutely true. I mean, every time I talk to somebody about Thomas Holy, first of all, he gets taller. So last night he was like 13 foot. But whatever the height changes, the fact of the matter is, people always say he can't come for a cross, doesn't command his area. And I think Neil's right. I mean, we're both atrocious goalkeepers. Let's be brutally honest. The Northampton fan in the summer when we signed him said to me, I don't know what you signed him for. Have we still got Dean Gherkin's phone number? Because I'd rather have Dino and go. Neil, you know how much I did not like you.
No,
Dean Gherkin is
couldn't.
Twice these players, twice Holy and twice Cornell. He really is, and I couldn't stand Dean Gherkin. I thought he was one of the worst guys Town have had. Little did I know. Little did I know.
Would we really be so, especially in the position we're in now, where the season looks like it's pretty much gone? Would we be in such a bad position to try Pershback in goal or Harry Wright?
Well, we wouldn't, but Paul Lambert would be because Paul Lambert's fighting for his job. Speaking of which, before we go on to our attacking options. Yesterday, I'm sure you've both seen it. Blue Action had a protest, flares. Stuart Taylor came all over and had a few words. Mike D, Lee Barrett. Lee Barrett. Love Lee Barrett. One of my favourite goalies. And his points per game is actually really good. Just drop that in there. But yeah, Stuart Taylor had some words with the fans, apparently. Where do you two stand on this? Because the media mogul wasn't overly keen on the idea or he didn't think it looked good enough, but it's certainly got some traction. But where are you both on this, on the Blue Action?
I'm with it. Yeah, I agree with it.
To be honest, I've been quite busy with work and I heard something happened, but I don't actually know what happened. But any action to push this club along is good in my book.
Yes. Steve?
That's it. I mean, even though there wasn't obviously that many people down there actually doing it, it got the interest of ex-players, it got the interest of newspapers, although they took it way out of context, the attention of the radio. So that sort of publicity, it's going to alert people. So yeah, I'm all for it. I think it was good. I think it was worth doing.
Does that beg the question? If we lose tonight by some way, does Paul Lambert now finally go? Is this the Paul Jewell Derby County game where if we get beat, he won't come for the press, and tomorrow morning it will be announced he's been let go? Because is this the pressure that we needed to put on Evans? Does it feel like that to you, Steve? Does it feel like the moment?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's more pressure now being put on Evans than obviously there was before, because now it's really picked up and it's got the attention of the radio. It's got the attention of other people. I'd like to think so, because he's actually now seeing it like, wow, okay, everyone can actually see how terrible we are and how bad this guy is. But I still can't see it. Even if we lose tonight, as much as I want to say he'll go, I still can't. I can't commit myself to say it, because I don't think Evans is that with it, really.
I don't know. It feels. I've always held the belief that April would be the time we see one manager depart and another one come in. Just feels different.
I just feel too much that Evans doesn't want to pay out to get rid of him, so we just got to put up with him, no matter how dreadful things get.
Yeah. Blue Soap, Bent Lane Flares incident. Please no looking for a Scottish man impersonating a football manager. I like that. Elliot Leader, can we put Lambert on gardening leave into the season, then sack him for free? Mike D, best thing that's happened this season so far. I don't know. I just feel like it's different this time. And I think like the more the news and the wind pick up around Portman Road and it's not sleepy, it's not quiet, it's no one's ignoring Ipswich, then Marcus will start to pay attention. Because now it's starting to be a big thing and people start to pay attention and the microscope comes over you a little bit more.
It's a lot different to obviously in the past when Blue Action put the banners outside Portman Road and the newspaper thing on the gates and Playford Road as well. That sort of gets brushed under the carpet. It circulates a little bit and then it's all forgotten about. But this, it takes a lot more to sort of sweep it under the rug because, like I say, now ex-players are getting involved and having their say as well. And if obviously what Darren Bent was saying earlier about people inside the club also, wanting Lambert out or that sort of core group of people. It's a lot harder to be swept under the rug, and it's a lot harder for Evans to just brush off. So whereas he could with the posters, this is a whole different ballgame.
We're just slowly becoming a joke of a club where other teams come and beat us, and you can just hear to yourself the fans going, "Can we play you every week?"
Yeah. If that's what we were inside Portman Road, that's probably what they'd be singing. Sears, Parrott, Harrop. It doesn't matter what way they have them playing, whether it's Harrop behind Parrott and Sears out wide, whether it's Parrott on the left and Sears up top, whatever way you want to do it. Parrott was called a big lump, I think, by Adrian Durham. I think that's who he was talking about. It might have been James Norwood, I don't know. He impressed on his debut, but is there a goal around the corner for Troy Parrott, do you think?
I think so.
I think so, yeah.
Is it tonight we get it? Is it tonight we see it?
It's a good opportunity.
Sooner rather than later, because the longer he goes without a goal, the more he becomes Freddie Sears. Yeah,
and is it harsh on Norwood? Because he got the goal against Peterborough. I know he's probably on a time limit, but he didn't play Saturday. He got the goal, our only goal against Peterborough. He's probably, if not our best striker, our second best striker. If he's fit, albeit for even 45 minutes, Steve, you put him in, don't you? You start with him. You start the game on your front foot.
I don't know. Unless he's thinking of bringing him on for the second half.
That's what I like the idea of.
But
if he's not fully fit and you've got to bring him on for a little bit of something to happen in the game, I'm happy for him to come on second half.
You're 2-0 down? What if you're 2-0 down and you're bringing him on? Like, it's all very well saying, we can bring him on in the second half, but I'd rather start on my front foot, take a 2-0 lead, take a 1-0 lead, and then change it when I have to, other than saying, shit, we're 2-0, we're 1-0, we're 3-0, whatever, stick him on and hope he can get up the flow of the game.
Martin, if we go 2-0 down, we might as well just frigging give up.
Because Simo says Norwood's not fit. Well, in that case, why is he on the bench over Drinnan or Jackson or any number of strikers at the football club that are fit? Because let's say Parrott walks out, okay, first minute, pulls hamstring, does a Klimpy kneel, pulls it warming up. Would James Norwood be put in the starting lineup? I would probably think so.
I'll say so.
So, or 10 minutes into the game or half an hour. Like, if he's fit enough to do any sort of minutes, for me, you put him in. If he's not, he shouldn't be on the bench. Quite frankly, that's where I sit with it. Where do you two sit with it?
Well, he's the kind of guy that you do want him either starting or coming on because he's a pest. Then he'll bug those defences. Even if he doesn't immediately set the world alight, he'll bug the defences. So I would prefer to have him on because he's proved that he can be a little nightmare. So there's obviously a reason he's not. I don't know why, but I'd rather have him starting, to be honest.
Yeah. Sears. You turn off the TV, Martin. What TV? I'm not on TV. Huh? That's okay. Anyway, Sears, Freddie Sears. You've got Judge on the bench. He played well against Blackpool. When you're really thinking about playing Freddie Sears or Alan Judge, you're sort of you're rolling the dice, aren't you, Steve? You're sort of saying, well, they're both the same. Doesn't really matter who you put in.
Yeah, neither really set the world alight. I would rather go for Sears over Judge. Although Judge hasn't looked too bad the past couple of games, but you can't really win with either of them now, to be honest.
No. Their time is coming to an end at Portman Road, do you think, when you know?
Yeah. Judge, he's had a couple of good games, and it is only really when he's playing in the role behind the striker. As soon as you ask him to play on the wing, well, what idiot ever chooses to make him do that?
It's like Sears as well, isn't it? Sears was supposed to be a striker, not a winger.
Well, yeah, but as he's got older...
He's slowly got ruined under McCarthy.
Yeah, he filled a hole, really. Let's be honest. And then as he's got older and he's lost that yard of pace, which made him an effective striker, he can play a number 10 role fairly effectively. So I'm surprised I've never seen him there for Town. Anyway, 2 minutes 2. Bold predictions time before we return at halftime to share our first half thoughts with you guys and hope to have you involved. Steve, what's your bold predictions, guys? Bold predictions in the lineup. Hang on. The crunch will be keeping Judge Nick. He's had a bang on the head, didn't he? Okay. Anyway, go on, Steve.
2-2 goals from Parrott and Downs.
Love it. Not the 2-2, but love the goals. Neil?
I'm going to go 3-0.
To Town?
Yeah, why not?
Well, isn't that domination? You said we weren't going to dominate anybody.
Yeah, well, I can try and be positive, can't I?
Really can. Stephen Parry 1-0. King Cali Bizzler 2-0 Town. Stuart 2-0 Town. Crunch gone. That's a bold prediction. Crunch. He's definitely had a blow to the head. Seek medical help, my friend. He's thinking of keeping Judge. He's gone for a 5-0 win. It
depends what blow to what head, Martin.
Facebook user 3-1. Eddie 4-0 Town. Parrott and Sears 3-1. Lots of 3-0s. There's a lot of positivity flying about. George Nunn. Welcome in, George, you absolute legend. 1-1. Okay, we shall return at halftime to share some halftime thoughts. So join us then. But until next time, see you at halftime. 3 points are incoming. I promise you, 3 points are incoming. See you then.